G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the color blue as the Ottomans. Takes me a while with these new civilizations. Representing Izzy Esports, it's Marine Lord. And in the north of the map, playing as the Malians in the color red, it is Beastie Cutie, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I tell you what the map is. I think it's Lipany, but with these new biomes, it makes it so damn difficult to actually know what map it is that we're playing. Now, I'm curious what kind of opening we see out of Beastie. One of the things that we have been seeing a little bit of lately is double scout openings from the Malians because they've got access to the warrior scout. So essentially the way that it works is this. Now, it doesn't seem that Beastie's going for it today, but you open with a double scout, you look to grab as many sheep as you can, then during the transition period, you actually make a third scout. You send them all over to the enemy base, and then as soon as you age up, you drop down your stable and you research warrior scouts, and you've basically got 3 horsemen in the enemy base at like 5 minutes. It's kind of crazy. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that today. It seems like a very different style of play, a bit more focused on the economy here. Now, this, of course, is a match brought to you by EGC TV. Now, for anybody who's been sleeping under the table, under the rock for quite a while, well, EGC TV has got you covered this weekend with regard to any competitive content you'd like to see for Age of Empires 4. So make sure you check them out. That's going to be this weekend at 15 GMT on Saturday and Sunday. So be there or be square. Now, in the last game in the series that we've got here, this is a best of 5, play all 5 series, I probably should say. We saw Marine Lord take out a Beastie Cutie. So now Beastie's got the Malians. Marine Lord has the Ottomans. I don't know about you guys, but I guess we could probably start to talk about balance at this point. Now, it's important to remember, and I just want to provide a caveat here, whenever we talk about balance, that it's within the context of the meta that it currently exists. There might be things that we just don't know about yet, things that the developers have come to terms with or have worked out, and it's going to take time for us to discover those things. As an example, Springles. I remember talking to one of the developers behind the scenes about Springles, and he's like, look, there's a busted strategy. You got to promise me that you don't tell anybody, but it's essentially you just make only Springles. And within like 2 weeks, people worked out the Springled spam strategy, and it just took over. And it's the same sort of thing, right? Like, it can take a while for the meta to catch up, for people to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, this is really good. And I suspect it might be the case here, but at this point in the game, we start to see a meta begin building, and that is that the Malians seem quite decent against the Ottomans. Now, that might just be a poor matchup. You know, we've talked about matchups before. As an example, Mongols versus the Holy Roman Empire. It's a great time to be a Mongol player, not a great time to be a Holy Roman Empire player, and it might just be the case that the Ottomans have a really bad matchup against the Malians, and subsequently, the only time we ever see them come out in the new DLC is against the Malians, so they look really, really weak. So there's always that caveat as well. But at the moment, it definitely seems the Malians, well, in most of the games I've watched, they seem to be beating out the Ottomans pretty handedly. But we see Beastie now aging up. It's going to be the Mansa Quarry. He's filled out his first of the pit mines. 90 gold a minute going to be trickling in to him. He's got the Mansa Quarry coming up, so he'll be looking to potentially get some upgrades as well here. Now, I'm going to make sure that I don't keep the fog of war turned off all the time, because look how bright it is. This new biome, this is the desert biome. I don't know if you guys are seeing that or if that's just my monitor, but I've got like these little kind of black bars going through when I move it like that. I don't know if you guys can see that as well. You know what? I'm looking at my second monitor. I can see them on my second monitor, so I guess you guys can see them. Looks a little bit strange though. It's like I don't know, the lighting or something over the top here. It looks a little bit weird. I don't know. I gotta work it out. It might be a game setting or something. Interesting house positioning here. I thought he actually hadn't finished the house, but we do have the first of the age ups coming through. 408 age up for Marine Lord. He's straight onto the berries that spawned from the Twin Minaret Madras, which is exactly the thing that you want to be doing. He's gone for an early wheelbarrow, so almost a bit of an Abbasid build order here. It definitely feels like it's kind of pseudo Abbasid in the way that he's gone for this. And we do see the wheelbarrow coming out, so it's going to be probably a 2TC opening. He's got a great little spot back here. And this is the thing about this civilization, the Ottomans. You just got so much food. You got food for days. It's absolutely crazy. You know, you've got infinite berries that are just spawning in all the time, giving you free food. And then you've got, on top of that, well, don't even get me started on this bad boy, Anatolian Hills, which seems to be the most popular, at least at the moment, with regard to the current meta. Gives you a bit more of a safe food source. It's basically a boar underneath your town center every single time. But a minute later, we've got Beastie Cutie now reaching the second age. We're going to see the Mansa Quarry shift over onto stone shortly. At least we typically do. He may not look to do it here. We'll have to wait and see how he plays it out. He's got 5 villagers on the stone wheelbarrow going to be coming through as well, which means that we've got a mill drop down. So watch out. Don't be surprised if this guy gets on the cow hype train as well. We've seen a few people on the cow hype train recently. Now does indeed shift the Mansa Quarry over onto stone. Just scouting out his enemy for the moment. And you can see he's actually splitting up the... Beastie, you're so cheeky. He's splitting up all the deer because he knows that this spot is such a good spot, and now he's going to kill all the deer. So now I wouldn't be surprised if Marine Lord just looks down there. He's like, you know what? You split my deer. I'll take somewhere else. Like, you know, maybe this isn't a bad spot here. Protect the wood line. You kind of get a bit of access to the gold mine, and you get these berries. And look, you can always come back down here later, but this is just so damn annoying to deal with. If you've got the spare APM, just go for it. It is 100% worth it. But we do see the first of the Sipahi making their way out onto the field. 350 stone gathered up here for Marine Lord. So he's looking to gather up even more than what you need for that first town center. Could be just thinking about going for a second town center in addition to the starting TC. So a total of 3. We'll take a look at Beastie, how he's doing, because he's got a villager out building around the first or the second of his pit mines. He's also approaching 400 stone at the moment. You can see neither player really managing their stone economies particularly well. The first of the Sipahi coming through now. Villager's going to pick him up on the attack move through. He's got to be careful, though. You want to avoid fighting against 8 villagers. Those guys do not mess around, but he does indeed look to pick these guys off. He's moving out for that town center. He's going to be in a pretty decent spot, but it is quite forward, so something that could be punished by Marine Lord if Beastie isn't careful. But the scout going to be coming out here. Look at this. A little bit of tit for tat, it seems, as that second town center does indeed go down on the south side. And we've got our Sofa horseman, or rather just a Sofa coming down. Not a lot of villagers down here. This is not good for Marine Lord right now. Beastie finding the villagers down here. Villagers forced to run away. Town center cancelled. Things not looking good right now for our Ottoman player in the south. So just when you thought things weren't doing well for Marine Lord, or rather for Beastie, Marine Lord actually looks even worse. Villager goes down. Sofa doing absolute work back here. Marine Lord literally going for 2 town centers. Like, this is ultimate greed, and this is amazing to me to watch this, because these guys just don't care. They're just like, well, I'll just make 3 TCs. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And that's exactly it. What are you going to do about it? Because by the time those TCs, you know, by the time you've got those TCs down, there's no real response that you can have. We see villagers moving out over towards that west side instead. He's a couple villagers shy of that 300 stone. I think his enemy may realize it. Just 20 stone off the top, and that'll be enough for it. Unfortunately, it looks like the Sofa going to be coming in here, dealing with the villager. 2 more hits and it might go down. Let's see if he goes underneath the town center and looks for a bit of a dive here. TC garrisoning the villagers, fires off towards the Sofa. Looks like he might actually have enough. He's going to try and commit it. Throws away the villager. Let's see if he gets the drop off. He could have just dropped it off. Oh, never mind. He keeps the villager alive and gets the drop off. But he doesn't. Oh, no, don't do it. No, villager. Oh, oh no. He sent it on the sheep. If he just put it in the town center, he would have had enough to drop down that 3rd TC right now. Oh, my Marine Lord. Well, let's take a look and see what the first of the Imperial Councils come through, and it is indeed Anatolian Hills. It's definitely one of those technologies where it's like you get that instant like gratification that comes in. It's like, oh, I get 8 sheep. Like, that is great. That is so damn good. 8 sheep right now. Hell yeah, brother. I'll take that trade. So it feels really good. The other options, obviously, are field work, which is, I suspect fieldwork is one of those things. You know, I was talking a little bit earlier about this idea, the fact that we've got an underdeveloped meta at the moment, but I reckon this one, watch out for this. And then meta drums, another one. I feel like these 2 are probably best kept for when you don't go for the MIA. The MIA being the Mehmed Imperial. I know it's not Academy, but you guys know the landmark I'm talking about. The one that makes free siege. So whenever you go for the other one. But we do see the 3rd town center now coming down on the front side here. Marine Lord going absolutely ham. We'll check in on the base of Beastie, as he's actually got 300 stone in the stack ready to go. 21 villagers on wood, but God, doesn't this just look so beautiful? I just can't get over how damn good. How good does this look? Look at this. This is just, it looks so good. I can't stop looking at it, man. I actually said to myself before this game, I'm like, all right, Drongo, you're not going to comment about how good the graphics look, because as I told you guys, I turned up the brightness of my monitor. It's got like I've got a setting, and essentially before it was, oh Jesus, calm down, mate. What are you playing the English? Look at those arrows coming out of the TC. Watch out, watch out, watch out, indeed. But yeah, I turned up the brightness on my monitor. I've got a setting. It's like RTS/RPG. I was like, yeah, we'll just put it on that one. And I previously had it on, like, you know, remember back in like 2020, 2021 where dark mode wasn't a thing? Well, yeah, it was back then. So I had like the brightness down on 1%, contrast. I mean, I don't think I really messed with those, but essentially I'm sitting on 90% brightness now. I'm blinding my eyes out. I'm absolutely loving it. And Beastie's doing the damn same thing over here with the Sipahi. Siege engineering going to be coming through. Interesting, interesting. So this kind of hints at a potential feudal age stay. So he could just look to really punish in feudal. Obviously, it's 2 TC up against 3, and he spots out that third town center now. 100% confirmation on that. Knows that the food down here. And I think this is probably another thing, right? When you're playing against the Ottomans, denying out their food, it's not a big deal. Like, realistically, when you think about it, you're not really doing much. Sure, you deny optimal TC placement, but I suspect you're probably going to find that Ottoman players really don't care that much about food. And you can see Marine Lord here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 berry bushes that he's not even gathering from. He's gathering from his sheep. And this is, I would argue, I would not even argue, it is objectively a mistake. You want your villagers to be gathering on these berries 100% of the time that they are up. Obviously, there's caveats to that. You know, you want to avoid crazy walking time back and forth, but to be honest, I think that these sheep are best served quite literally standing on top of this twin minaret madrasa. But we move forward. We stop critiquing the pros. They are the pros after all. A little bit of a raid up towards the north side of the base as Beastie makes no mistake and decides to wall early on in this game. Yes, it's not going to be a case of the last game. No spoilers, but yeah, Beastie didn't wall and it lost him the game. I know I said no spoilers, but it was a joke. It was a joke. First of the battering rams making its way in towards that town center. We can see it's got an attack command. Looks like a couple of Sipahi are going to be coming out now. Sipahi could actually drop in the fortitude. Let's see if they do it. Fortitude could come out right now. Very, very handy. Not going to be able to do it, though. He's just working on that battering ram. And now turning his attention towards the sofa. We see the next technology is going to be available for him. He looks to, I suspect, probably go for the meta here, just with the defense that he's playing on. Let's take a look and see. No, he's gone into military campus, so not going to be going into meta drums. But we do see that he has a meta in queue, and it's going to be from the military school. So second and third military school coming down. Marine Lord actually going ham with the military schools here. But at this point in the game, I mean, Beastie looking pretty strong, pretty decent. And remember, it is that 2 TC up against the 3 TC. Beastie had enough stone in the bag to drop that third TC. But he said, you know what? I'm just going to stick it to feudal. And I'm going to go ham. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Because typically, it's been 2 to 3 TCs into fast castle. In almost every single game that we've watched. They've just sort of picked up where they left off in the meta. Feudal play has been rare with these civilizations, and I guess I say picked off at the meta. I mean, feudal play has obviously been pretty important in the most recent patch. We've seen a lot of that. I mean, Beastie looking very strong, very fierce now. Beautiful little pickup here, though. Great little trade Sipahi coming through. And I'd love to just see Sipahi mass at this point. You just mass up Sipahi, as many of them as you can. Keep in mind, you've got Fortitude. I'd just be popping Fortitude non-stop. I know you take more damage, but you deal more damage. So it's like, you know, you win some, you lose some. Right here, though, at this point here, Fortitude. Come on, you got to pop it off, Marine Lord. Let me see you do it. It lasts for 10 seconds, though, so perhaps it's advisable to try and save it. But 3 rams on that TC. Going to make short work of it, as the TC is indeed going to be going down. 10 villagers inside it. Jump out, look to try and take out the battering rams before they actually lose their lives. And indeed, they are going to be going down. We see them just burning through. A Marine Lord now going to be falling back towards his main base. Villager count at the moment for him on 58 versus 60 for Beastie. Keep in mind, Beastie only kept to those 2 TCs, and he still remains strong with those 2 TCs, and he's just pumping out units non-stop. Have a look what kind of combo he's going for. 17 archers and a whole bunch of Sofa at the moment. Now, for anybody wondering, Sofa is kind of like a horseman / knight. It is a combination of both. So it's not armored per se. It's not, I mean, technically it is heavy, and it's got 2 armor, a pop. But that's it. It's not your 4 armor. It's just 2 armor, and it does get a little bit of a bonus against infantry, just a 2 bonus, which obviously, you know, that's gonna be a break point somewhere and not a break point somewhere else. You know, maybe they if they gave them plus, an extra +2 damage flat, then maybe they do too well against horsemen or something like that. So they just made sure to give it against infantry. But now those Sipahi are going to be moving back towards the base. He's looking for a little bit of a potential flank around the backside. Second TC going to be coming up now. Beastie looking very strong in this early game. Marine Lord seeming like he doesn't have a response. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode because this is a pretty decent push that's coming along right now. And I'm suspecting that Marine Lord may be in a little bit of trouble here. We've got the Twin Minaret Madrasa with 2 berry patches taken, 2 of them still in. But you can see, like, even the safest berries still are quite strong in this position. But Beastie looking to come around. Let's see exactly how he plays it. We hear some Donzos getting in with a little bit of a charge, but now the battering ram's going to get taken out on the backside. No units back here to protect them. Let's see how it goes. Town Center still alive, not yet burning down. Decent little surround here from Marine Lord. But unfortunately, the Donzo numbers still seem pretty competent. The Archer's going to get caught with their pants down. They're going to try and continue kiting their way back, but the few Donzos that remain are going to be very, very effective here. And a meta also going to get picked off. Just hanging out, the poor guy. No, don't do him like that. He's just a lonely little meta. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save him. And now the cleanup crew comes through. The Sipahi, the stronger men. The strong Sipahi look to bring out their fortitude, and indeed they do so well. But there's going to be more Donzos coming in. Look at this. The reinforcements, and Beastie going to be looking incredible now in this long feudal age. This drawn-out feudal age up against the 3 TC of Marine Lord. Marine Lord said, bring it on. Let's see if you can punish me. And Beastie's like, okay. And he did. And he did. So, I mean, for the moment, we've got a little bit of a lull that we can fall back out of. I say that until Beastie just, brings the re-up. Let's wait for a battering ram about to drop down. There it comes. So, no surprises there. 43 villagers on food at the moment. There is no shortage of food. He's also got the cows beginning to come out as well. So he's kind of doing... I like the way that he's playing this as well. Instead of going for 3 TCs plus a cow boom, he's like, I'll do 2 TCs plus a cow boom. And I think that's kind of smart, right? Because you can go for 3 TCs, but it's that old saying, what's the point in matching your enemy's 3 TCs when you can do even better off 2? I mean, it's not an old saying. I just made it up then. But it's that one, put that one in the quote book. You can quote that one for me. I'll put that one in the yearbook for sure. Marine Lord still on the defensive. He tried to sneak in a castle age. Marine Lord, you greedy, greedy boy. What are you doing? A castle age coming through at this time. Nice little attempt here on the backside with the Sipahi. Oh my lord, look at the numbers coming out for Beastie right now. Marine Lord, meanwhile, he's like, I think I got caught with my pants down. Yeah, buddy, you did. 48 military out right now for Beastie. He is pushing in with a huge mass. I got to take a look at what's the production back here for Beastie. I see double barracks. We see a few more military production buildings, double archery range, double stable. He's just doubling up on absolutely everything. And now going to continue taking out villagers on the front side. Marine Lord in a little bit of trouble here, as Beastie looks to even up this series and maintain the healthy win rate that the Malians have over the Ottomans. So far, so good. Marine Lord trying to distract, trying to attract attention up towards the base of Beastie, but Beastie fortunately learned his lesson from the last game and said, you know what? I'm just going to wall. And he walls, and he does a great job of it. Now able to repair up that palisade wall. The push still continues at the front. We can see, are there any javelins out yet? I don't even think we've got a javelin out yet. Yeah, no javelin throwers out yet. I guess there's no archers coming out from Marine Lord. So Beastie says, well, I don't even need to go javelins because you're not even going archers. So what's the damn point? Second ram now coming back out. We did see the first one unfortunately lose its life. Marine Lord trying to hold on at the front side. He spent out all of his food. You could see he was up to 1,200 food. He was really hopeful that he'd be able to get up to that next stage, but even if you get up, sure, like realistically, you get out a couple Janissaries maybe, you get out a couple Knights, but you're still going to die. The mass is just so damn big, so damn powerful. He's gone into fast training as well. Definitely a little bit spicy. More units coming around to reinforce. And once again, we're going to enter into the cinematic mode as Marine Lord looks to try and hold on for his life here, defending the wrath of the Ottomans, defending the strongest of the civilizations. That is the question. Which one's it going to be? But I got to tell you, Beastie's looking pretty good. The Donzo numbers are still looking quite healthy here in the second town center. Is under threat. Battering ram going to get focused down, and we can see the Donzo's just getting a complete surround. More reinforcements coming in. Beastie reinforcing like an AI right now, and good game gets called. Beastie evens up the series. It's a 1-1 so far in this series, and you just got to say, man, those Malians are looking damn well strong, aren't they?